Over the last few years, we've been made aware of just how fragile our bodies are, and that includes our heart. The over 50 heart is at higher risk for cardiovascular disease, and that's why it's so important that we take care of our bodies. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can protect your heart as you age and how to fix it if things have already gone wrong. So, what causes cardiovascular disease? Well, there's many different factors that come into play here, but basically, it's anything that causes damage to the inside layer of your heart, specifically the coronary artery. And then when that happens, your body tries to repair that damage with scar tissue. And over time, that scar tissue builds up and it becomes calcified. Then we get what's called atherosclerosis, or hardening of the arteries, which leads to high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. There are 3 main causes for the most part of this damage in that inner layer of the heart. The first one is chronic inflammation. This can be caused by many things, such as stress, lack of sleep, sugar, refined foods, seed oils, smoking, alcohol, certain medications, environmental toxins, etc. For example, we know that people who consume a lot of sugar and refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, cereal, sodas, juice, etc., they actually double their risk of getting a heart attack. Another example is that chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, which is a lung condition where you have inflammation of the lungs, that can cause a lot of that inflammation to spill over into your heart and vessels and cause issues there. The second cause is from oxidation. So oxidation occurs when you're exposed to things like tobacco smoke, pollution, certain chemicals, even too much sun exposure. Basically, any type of free radical damage can cause oxidation in the body. But the main thing that causes oxidation in the heart is consuming unhealthy fats, like seed oils. Like these oils are highly processed, and they're very unstable at high temperatures. And so when you heat them or you consume them, they go through a process called oxidation, and they become rancid. And that creates a lot of free radical damage on the inside layer of your heart. The third cause is from a lack of nutrients. So this is when your body is deficient in antioxidants, phytochemicals, minerals, vitamins, things like that. These all help to protect your cells against inflammation and oxidation. So if you don't have enough of these things in your body, then you're more prone to having inflammation and damage on the inside layer of your heart. The good news, though, is that there are several things that you can do to prevent this problem and also to help heal your heart if you've already developed some heart issues. Number 1 is to clean up your diet. You want to stop eating inflammatory foods that cause oxidation, right? That's going to be primarily cutting out the sugar, the refined carbohydrates, and the seed oils. Replace those with anti-inflammatory foods like healthy fats, fiber, vitamin D, foods that are rich in antioxidants like berries, leafy greens, herbs, and spices. In order to really heal the inside layer of your heart, you need to eat foods that are rich in something called polyphenols. Now, polyphenols are considered phytochemicals, but they're also antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, and they help to reduce that oxidation that occurs on the inside layer of your heart. Good sources of polyphenols include dark chocolate, green tea, coffee, berries, citrus fruits, nuts and seeds, olive oil, and red wine. The next thing to do is to get regular exercise. Exercise helps to strengthen your heart muscle, which will improve the efficiency of your heart and the pumping action of your heart. Exercise also improves circulation, and it helps to reduce stress. If you have a desk job or you sit for most of the day, it's really important that you get up and move around every half hour to an hour because sitting for long periods of time is very hard on your cardiovascular system. The next tip is to manage your stress. As you probably already know, stress can contribute to many health problems, including heart disease. When you're stressed out, your body releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which can cause your blood pressure to rise and put extra strain on your heart. So make sure you get enough sleep, practice yoga, meditation, deep breathing exercises, go for walks, spend time in nature, take vacations, laugh and have fun, connect with friends and family. Try to maintain a positive attitude. Next, you want to stop smoking and avoid secondhand smoke. Now, this should be obvious, but you want to avoid tobacco smoke at all costs because it's very, very damaging to your heart. In fact, smoking doubles your risk of getting heart disease and stroke. Also, make sure to avoid indoor and outdoor air pollution as much as possible. Get an air purifier with a HEPA filter to clean the air in your home. Consider wearing a mask while outside if you live in a polluted area. Next, you want to start taking supplements that support the health of your cardiovascular system. There are many different supplements out there that you can consider taking. Omega-3 fatty acids are great for reducing inflammation and providing the heart with energy. Coenzyme Q10 is another good one because it helps to support the energy production of the mitochondria in the heart. Then we have something called acetyl L-carnitine, which helps to improve circulation and reduce the risk of clots. You can also take garlic, turmeric, cayenne pepper, ginkgo biloba, and magnesium, all of which have been shown to improve overall cardiovascular health. Next, you may have heard this before, but it's important to keep your teeth clean and to floss between your teeth because bacteria from your mouth can enter your bloodstream and cause a lot of damage to your heart. In fact, studies show that people with gum disease have a higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease. So make sure to see your dentist regularly and keep those pearly whites nice and shiny. Then we have avoiding trans fats at all costs. Trans fats are created when liquid oil is converted to solid by adding hydrogen. They're typically found in fried foods, baked goods, popcorn, microwave popcorn, frozen meals, coffee creamers, margarine, etc. These types of fats are very, very unstable when heated or when exposed to body temperature, and so they tend to create a lot of damage on the inside layer of your heart. So definitely avoid these. You also want to watch your alcohol consumption. Alcohol actually thins the blood, which increases your risk of bleeding and also reduces the amount of oxygen in the blood. Both of these effects can be very dangerous to your heart. Next, you want to avoid taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs. These are drugs like ibuprofen, aspirin, naproxen, Celebrex, etc. Taking these on a regular basis can actually increase your risk of a heart attack by 20%. And that's because they deplete your body of vitamin E, which is an antioxidant that's necessary to prevent oxidation and inflammation in the heart. And finally, number 10, if you have high blood pressure, it's really important that you start taking a diuretic in order to lower that blood pressure. Diuretics help to eliminate excess sodium and water from the body, which reduces the workload on the heart and the arteries. A good natural diuretic is dandelion tea. But if you have high blood pressure, make sure to work with your doctor and get on the right medication for you. As you can see, there are many things that you can do to protect your heart and your cardiovascular system as you age. By making simple changes to your diet and lifestyle, you can significantly reduce your risk of developing cardiovascular disease and enjoy a long, healthy life. Now, since we're talking about the heart, there's some very interesting information I want to share with you about what I call the over 40 heart. People over the age of 40 tend to have a different type of heart attack than younger people. And so I put together this very interesting video about what happens to your heart after the age of 40. I think it's really fascinating information. Check it out here. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and check out my other videos on aging, longevity, and living a healthy life. Wishing you great health, wealth, and happiness.